1. Introduction. My name is Nina. I am a mother. Now I am sitting alone in my small kitchen. It is quiet here. There is a cup of tea on the table in front of me. The tea is warm, but I am not drinking it now. I look out the window, but I do not really see the garden outside. My thoughts are somewhere else. My mind is full of memories. I want to tell you a story. It is not an easy story to tell. It feels heavy in my heart. It is important, though. It is about my daughter, Leela, and it is about a man who came into our lives and changed everything forever. My daughter, Leela, is a good person. She has always been kind and smart. I love her very much, more than words can say. Like all mothers, I want my daughter to be happy. That is my biggest wish. I want her to have a good life, full of joy and love. For many years, our life was simple and peaceful. We lived together in a small, quiet town. Nothing very exciting happened there, but we were content. We had each other, and that felt like enough. I remember a time I prayed. I prayed very hard with all my heart. I asked for something special for Leela. I asked for happiness for her. I wanted her to find love, the kind of love that makes your heart feel full and safe. I thought it was a simple prayer, a good prayer from a mother's heart. Who would not want happiness for their child? I closed my eyes tight and hoped for the best things for her future. I believed good things would surely come to her. But prayers can work in strange ways. Sometimes the answer you get is not the answer you expect. Sometimes what you ask for brings things you did not imagine, things you are not ready for. My prayer for Leela's happiness, well, it started something very difficult. It brought a storm into our quiet lives, a storm we did not see coming. It brought trouble and sadness. It tested us in many ways. It tested our love for each other. This story is about that time. It is about Layla, the man who entered her life, and the prayer I made with good intentions. It is about secrets we keep and difficult choices we must make. It is about how love can be wonderful, but also very complicated. Sometimes love can hurt people deeply. I need to tell this story, maybe to understand it better myself. Maybe telling it will help release some of the weight. So please listen. This is what happened. It started quietly, like most storms do, before everything changed completely. I hope you can understand. It is a mother's story, after all. It is about hope and love and unexpected paths in life. 2. A quiet life. My daughter is Leela. She was 26 years old when this story began. Leela is a very good person. Her heart is kind, and she always tries to help others. She is also very smart. She did well in school and always loved learning new things. She had just finished her studies and was ready to start her adult life. We lived together in our small house, just the two of us. Our home is in a quiet town. It is the kind of place where neighbors say hello on the street and children play outside safely. Life here was always simple, not fast or noisy like in a big city. We did not have a lot of money, but we always had what we needed. My dear husband, Leela's father, died 10 years ago after being sick. So, it was just me and Leela for a long time after that. I missed him every day, but Leela was my reason to be strong, my sunshine. To earn money for our home, I work in Mrs. Gable's flower shop downtown. It is a small, pretty shop filled with colors and nice smells. I enjoy my job. I arrange flowers for birthdays, weddings, and sometimes for sad times too. Many people from the town come into the shop. They often stop to talk for a few minutes. My days were usually calm and followed a pattern. I worked in the shop, came home in the evening, cooked a simple dinner, and talked with Leela about her day and mine. Leela was growing into a lovely young woman. Like many people her age, she sometimes dreamed about finding love. She hoped to meet a kind man, someone special to share her life with. But Leela was quite shy. She was not loud or outgoing. She found it hard to talk easily to new people, especially young men she found interesting. She was always very careful with her feelings. She did not want her heart to be broken. She often read books or watched movies about romance, but finding real love seemed like a big, difficult step for her. Just before everything changed, she had found a new job. It was her first big job after her studies, working at a company in the nearby city. Getting there took about 30 minutes by bus. She was very excited and a little nervous about it. It felt like an important new start for her. She worked very hard to prepare for the job interviews. I was so proud of her success. Our life was very peaceful in those days. We had our comfortable daily routines. We found joy in small things, like a sunny morning or a good cup of tea. We always ate dinner together at our small kitchen table. We talked about everything. On weekends, sometimes we went for long walks in the nearby park or visited the town market. It was a normal life, a quiet life. We did not know that a big change was coming very soon. We had no idea that our quiet days were numbered. Everything felt safe and calm then, before he arrived and turned our world upside down. 3. The meeting. Leela started her new job in the city. She worked hard. One evening, her company had a special event. It was a party for the workers. Leela felt a little nervous, but she went. The room was big and full of people talking and laughing. Leela stood near a table with food. She did not know many people there. Suddenly, a man came to talk to her. His name was Charles. He looked older than Leela. He was maybe 42 years old. He wore nice clothes and had a kind smile. He seemed very sure of himself. Charles told Leela he owned part of the company. This surprised Leela. He was friendly and easy to talk to. He asked Leela about her new job and where she lived. He listened carefully when she spoke. He seemed interested in her life. Charles bought her a coffee from the drinks table. They talked for a long time. Leela felt happy talking to him. He was charming and made her laugh. He gave her a lot of attention. No man had ever paid so much attention to her before. Leela started to feel something new. She liked Charles very much. His smile made her feel warm inside. When the event finished, Leela went home. She could not stop thinking about Charles. In the next days, Leela seemed different. Nina saw her daughter smiling more often. Leela hummed songs while she helped in the kitchen. She looked brighter, like she had a happy secret. Nina watched her daughter. Leela looked more alive than she had in a long time. Nina felt happy to see Leela like this. Her shy daughter was opening up, like a flower in the sun. Nina did not know who made Leela so happy, but she hoped it was someone good. For now, seeing Leela smile was enough. It felt like a small light starting to shine in their quiet life. Leela did not say much about the man, but her eyes sparkled when she thought about him. The meeting with Charles was changing things already. 4. The secret love. Leela started talking about the man from her work. She told me his name was Charles, but she did not say much more. "He's just a nice man, Mum," she explained one evening, looking down at her hands. Her eyes were bright when she looked up, though. She smiled a lot more these days, a real, happy smile that reached her eyes. It was wonderful to see her like this. After her father died 10 years ago, our life was quiet, sometimes too quiet. Seeing Leela blossom made my heart feel warm, but she was being very private. She kept many things about Charles a secret. Their relationship grew quickly, but quietly. Leela often came home late from the city. Sometimes she said she was working late on a project. Other times she said she was out with friends from her new job. I knew, or I guessed, she was meeting Charles. Why did she not tell me more? Maybe she was shy about love. It was new for her, this strong feeling. She was always careful with her heart. Perhaps she wanted to keep this special feeling just for herself for a little while longer. I tried to understand that. A new love can feel like a fragile, precious thing you want to protect. She shared small things sometimes, like little drops of information. She mentioned they went to nice restaurants for dinner in the city. "The food was amazing, Mum," she told me once, her voice full of excitement. One weekend, she spoke about a short trip they took. They drove to a small town near the sea on a Saturday. She showed me a smooth, gray stone she found on the beach. "Look how beautiful," she whispered, holding it carefully. She looked so happy when she talked about these moments. Charles also gave her gifts. One day she wore a beautiful silk scarf, the color of the sky. Another time, I saw a small, expensive-looking blue box on her bedside table. She quickly put it away when I came in. "Oh, it's just something small from Charles," she said, her cheeks turning a little pink. Seeing Leela so happy was the most important thing. It was what I always wanted for her. I prayed many times for her to find someone kind, someone who would make her laugh and feel loved. Maybe Charles was that person. He clearly made her feel special. She was changing in good ways. She seemed more confident, less unsure of herself. But a small part of me, the mother part, felt worried. Why was everything so secret? Why did she only call him a nice man from work? Was he hiding something from her? Or was Leela hiding him from me? I pushed the thoughts away. I wanted to trust Leela's choices. She was a smart young woman. She knew how to take care of herself. Still, sometimes late at night, when the house was silent, I felt a little cold feeling of worry. I hoped this man, Charles, was truly good for my daughter. I hoped this secret love would bring her only joy, not tears. I told myself my worry was just a mother being silly. I wanted her happiness more than anything in the world. 5. Mother's worry. One sunny afternoon, Nina finished her work at the flower shop. She locked the door and stepped outside. Across the street, she saw Leela. Her daughter was standing with a man. They were laughing together. Leela looked happier than Nina had seen her in a long time. Nina smiled too, happy to see her daughter enjoying herself. She started to walk towards them. Then Nina looked more closely at the man. Her smile disappeared. Her feet stopped moving. It felt like the world stopped turning. She knew him. Her heart started beating very fast. It was Charles. The man from her past. The man she loved more than 20 years ago, before she met her dear husband. Memories came back quickly. She remembered his charming smile and his promises. She also remembered the pain when he left. He disappeared from her life without one word. He broke her young heart into many pieces. Now, he was standing here, talking to her daughter, Leela. Nina felt cold inside. Leela saw her mother and waved happily. "Mama, come meet Charles," she called out. Nina tried to look normal. She walked slowly across the street. Her mind was full of questions. Did Charles know Leela was her daughter? Did he remember her? He looked older now, but his eyes were the same. She felt confused and scared. "Charles, this is my mother, Nina," Leela said, smiling brightly. Charles turned and smiled at Nina. It was a polite smile. "It's very nice to meet you, Nina," he said. Did he recognize her? Nina could not tell. She just nodded. She could not speak. Later that evening, Nina sat alone in her kitchen. She thought about Charles and Leela. Leela talked about him all evening. She told Nina about their plans for the weekend. Leela was falling in love. Nina saw it clearly. But Nina knew something about Charles that Leela did not. She knew he could leave. She knew he could hurt people. Should she tell Leela? Should she tell her daughter that this charming man broke her own heart many years ago? Nina looked at a picture of Leela. Her daughter looked so happy. Nina did not want to take that happiness away. Maybe Charles was different now. Maybe he really cared for Leela, but Nina felt a deep worry in her heart. She decided to wait. She would watch Charles carefully. She needed to know more. That night, Nina could not sleep well. She thought about the past and worried about the future. Before she closed her eyes, she prayed. She prayed for Leela. "Please," she whispered into the quiet room, "please protect my daughter. Keep her safe from harm." 6. The truth is out. Leela felt cold inside. She learned something important about Charles. It was a big secret he did not tell her. Charles was married. He had a wife. Leela thought about their time together. She remembered the nice dinners, the fun trips, and the pretty gifts he gave her. Was it all not true? Her heart felt very heavy, like a stone. Tears came to her eyes and ran down her face. She could not understand. The man she liked so much, the man who was always so nice and charming, was not honest with her. He had another life. He had a wife. Leela felt lost, confused, and very sad. She needed her mother. Leela quickly left her apartment. She went to Nina's house near the flower shop. Nina opened the door and saw Leela crying. Her daughter looked terrible. Nina immediately brought Leela inside the warm house. "Leela, my dear, what happened? Tell me what is wrong," Nina asked gently. Leela could not talk yet. She hugged her mother and cried hard. Nina held her daughter tightly. She felt Leela's sadness. Nina guessed this was about Charles. The worry she felt before came back, even stronger this time. She softly rubbed Leela's back. She waited quietly for Leela to be ready to speak. After a few minutes, Leela's crying became quieter. She looked at Nina. Her eyes were red and wet. "He lied, Mom," Leela said in a small voice. "Charles lied to me. He is married. He has a wife." Nina felt a sharp pain in her heart for Leela. She took her daughter's hands in hers. "Oh, Leela," Nina said softly, "I am so sorry. I am truly sorry you have to feel this pain." Nina felt sad for Leela, but also angry at Charles. He hurt her daughter. It felt familiar, like the pain he caused Nina many years ago. Nina knew she had to tell her own secret now. She could not hide it from Leela anymore. She took a deep breath to make herself calm. "Leela," Nina began. Her voice was low. "I need to tell you something about Charles. It is about my past from a very long time ago." Leela looked at her mother, her face showing surprise. "What is it, Mom?" Nina looked straight into Leela's eyes. "Charles and I knew each other before you met him. Many, many years ago. I was young then. It was before I met your father." Nina stopped for a moment, saying this was hard for her. "Charles was my first love, Leela. We were happy together for a time. But then he left me. He went away suddenly and never said goodbye. My heart was broken." Nina told Leela how surprised she was to see Charles again after all those years. "I never, ever thought I would see him again in my life," Nina finished. Leela sat very still, listening to her mother. Her eyes were wide. She was quiet as she thought about these new words. The same man hurt her and her mother. It was a very sad truth for them both. 7 big problems. Our small town was usually quiet, but now people started to talk. They talked about Leela and Charles. Some people saw them together. They saw them having coffee or walking in the park. Whispers followed Leela when she walked down the street. It was difficult for her. She felt people watching her all the time. Life in our small town was not peaceful anymore. The news traveled fast, like wind through dry leaves. Everyone seemed to know something about Leila and the rich man from the city. They did not know the full story, but they liked to talk. Then things became worse, much worse. Charles was married. We knew that now. And his wife found out about Leila. She was very angry. One afternoon, she came to Leila's workplace. It was a big company in the city. Charles's wife shouted at Leila in front of everyone. She called Leila bad names. She said Leila was trying to steal her husband. It was a terrible scene. Leila was so embarrassed and sad. Her face turned red and she started to cry. Her boss was there. Her colleagues were there. Everyone saw it. After that, work became very hard for Leila. People looked at her differently. Some were unkind. Leila felt ashamed and scared. She did not want to go back to work. One evening, Charles came to our house. I did not want to see him, but he knocked on the door. He looked worried. He said he needed to talk to me, Nina. He told me something very surprising. He said, "Nina, I made a mistake with Leila. It's you I still love. I never stopped loving you after all these years." He said he only got close to Leila because she reminded him of me when I was young. He told me he never forgot me. I was shocked. My heart felt cold. All those years ago, he left me without a word. Now he stood in my house saying he loved me. I felt angry. I told him to leave. I said, "You hurt me then, and now you hurt my daughter. Go away, Charles. Never come back." But Charles did not leave immediately. He tried to say more, and the worst thing happened. Leila was upstairs in her room. She heard everything. She heard Charles say he loved me, not her. She heard him say she was just a reminder of me. She heard my angry words telling him to go. Leila came downstairs slowly. Her eyes were wide with shock and pain. She looked at Charles, and then she looked at me. Leila did not cry then. She looked empty. She felt hurt, deeply hurt. Charles had lied to her and used her. That was terrible. But she also felt betrayed by me, her mother. She knew I had a past with Charles. But hearing Charles say he wanted me, not her, was too much. It felt like I was part of his lies, too. She probably thought I knew this all along. The trust between us felt broken. It was a very difficult moment for all of us. The room was silent, but full of pain. Charles finally left. Leila and I stood there, not speaking. The big problems were now inside our home too. 8, a new start. Leila felt very hurt after she heard Charles talking to me. She felt hurt by him, and she felt hurt by me too. It was a very difficult time for her. She needed some space. She decided to leave our town for a while. Leela went to stay with her aunt who lived in another part of the country. After Leela left, the house was too quiet. I felt very lonely. Every room seemed empty without her laugh or her voice. I missed her very much. During the day, I worked in the flower shop, but my thoughts were always with Leela. At night, I often sat alone in the kitchen, just like now. Sometimes I cried. I thought a lot about Charles, about my past, and about Leela. I wondered if everything was my fault. I remembered my prayer for Leela's happiness. Was it the wrong prayer? Did I cause all this trouble? These questions stayed in my mind. Several months went by. Winter turned into spring. Then, one sunny afternoon, Leela came back home. When I opened the door, I saw her standing there. She looked different. She seemed older, and her eyes looked clearer. She was still my Leela, but something inside her was stronger. We sat down and talked for many hours. Leela told me about her time away. She thought a lot about everything that happened. She said she understood things better now. And then she looked at me and said she forgave me. Hearing those words made me feel so much better. It was like a heavy stone was lifted from my chest. Leela also had some important news. She found a new job. It was a good job in a company in a big city, far away from our small town and its memories. She was excited about this new start. She planned to move there in a few weeks. I felt sad that she would be far away, but I also felt very proud of her. She was making her own decisions and building her own life. We never heard from Charles again. He left town suddenly. Nobody knew where he went. Maybe he went back to his wife, or maybe he went somewhere completely new. It did not matter to us anymore. He was part of the past. Watching Leela pack her things for her new life, I thought about my prayer one more time. I asked for her to find love and happiness. Things did not happen the way I expected. Life was difficult for her. But maybe she did not need to find a man first. Maybe she needed to find herself first, and she did. She found her own strength. That made me feel hopeful for her future.